MMS. So today we're going to be learning from Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Percents and Fractions. Yesterday we kind of went back and forth from writing decimals and fractions. Today we're going to be going back and forth writing percents and fractions. Okay, so first let's start by writing percent over here. And again, anything that I write down, please copy down. You should have your main ideas column and your notes column. Okay, so main ideas, let's write percent. Okay, and this is the symbol that we use for percent. So anytime you see the word percent or you see this symbol, please know that it means out of 100. Okay, so percent means out of 100, something out of 100. Doesn't matter what kind of percent or what number, it's out of 100. So here are a few examples. 37% means 37 out of 100. Okay, you can write it like this, 37 out of 100. Another example, 150% means 150 out of 100. Okay, you can also write it like that. Okay, so let's practice writing a percent as a fraction, but we need to remember to keep it in simplest form. So write a percent as a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so we're going to use two examples. And remember, to simplify means that we want to keep the fraction the same. We want it to be equivalent, okay? But we just want to make the numbers smaller. So 55% is the first percent we're going to use. Remember, this just means 55 out of 100. So the way I say it is the way I'm going to write it, 55 out of 100. $55 out of 100, okay? And I'm not done yet. I still need to simplify. Okay, so when I'm simplifying, I'm choosing a common factor that these two numbers have. And remember, whatever number I divide or multiply top or bottom by, I need to do the same to either the top or bottom. Just like we've been working on almost all year, whatever I do to the top, I'm going to do to the bottom, and vice versa. So I notice that 55 and 100, they both have the factor 5 in common. Okay, so I'm going to divide both by 5. And feel free to use a calculator if you need one. So 55 divided by 5 is going to be 11, and 100 divided by 5 is going to be 20. This right here, I cannot simplify any further. One reason, because 11 is a prime number, so the only factors 11 has is 1 and 11. And 11 and 20 don't have any factors in common besides 1. So I'm done. This is my answer, okay, and this is in simplest form. All right, let's try one more example. let's do 82%. So 82% also means 82 out of 100. So the way I say it is the way I'm going to write it, just like in the previous lesson. 82% means 82 out of 100. Okay, I also need to simplify this though. And something I noticed with both numbers is that they are both even. Remember, if numbers are even, you can divide them by 2, because 2 will always be a factor of them if they are even. Okay, so let's divide by 2. $82 divided by 2 is 41, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. So this is the simplest form of this fraction. You can't make it any smaller. Remember, these fractions, they're the exact same. This one is just smaller, okay? I'm going to circle that so we know that's the simplest form. Okay. Now, we learned how to write a percent as a fraction in simplest form. Again, if you're given a percent, all you need to do is write this number out of 100, because that's what it means. Okay? Now we're going to learn to write a fraction as a percent. So given a fraction, given something like this, we need to turn this into a percent. So let's figure out how to do that. So write a fraction as a percent. I'm going to lower this a little bit. Okay. So, let's use the example 3/10. Okay, so let's put 3/10 over here. First, we're just going to rewrite our fraction on this side. Oh, before we get to that though, let's write at the top here what we really want. Okay, so we want a fraction something out of 100, and we want to make it into a percent. So that's what we're doing. And if you notice, like up here, we wrote 82% and then 82 out of 100. So a lot of times you just have to put whatever this number is out of 100. And if it is out of 100 and you're going this way, then you just need to write this number with the percent symbol. Okay? So again, we want to find a fraction, something like this, and we need to find the percent for it. Okay? Sorry, you can't see that. All right. So we have the fraction 3/10. Okay? But we want this to look something like that. So I'm going to set up some fraction out of 100 here. And I need to figure out, this is the same thing we did with ratios and rates, right? In our last chapter, in chapter 1, we had some ratio and we had to find the equivalent ratio on this side. So that's what we're doing right now. We have 10, we want 100. How can we get from 10 to 100? And whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, okay? Well, just knowing my multiplication facts, I know the answer. But if you don't know the answer, you can go in the opposite direction okay? And you can divide. You can do 100 divided by 10, okay, to get your answer. Should be 10. So now I know that I need to multiply by 10. And again, I know to multiply because we're going from a small number to a large number. Anytime you go from a small number to a large number, you have to multiply. So times 10, and whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. So times 10 over here too. 3 times 10 is going to give us 30. So now I just write that. Look what we have over here. We have something over 100 equals something percent. So I'm going to do the same thing. We have 30 out of 100 equals 30%. Okay, so I just wrote this number as a percent. All right, let's try one more example. Let's do 6/8. So I'm going to rewrite it over here, 6/8. And I need to get this to be something out of 100. Okay, so I need to figure out, what do I multiply to go from 8 to 100? But again, maybe I don't know, okay? And I'm going to have to go in the reverse direction and divide. So in order to do that, I need to do 100 divided by 8. That way I can figure out what needs to go here, and that'll let me figure out what I need to multiply 8 by to get 100. Because remember, division and multiplication, they reverse each other. Okay, so 100 divided by 8, if you use a calculator, you'll figure out that that is 12. Oh, 12.5, I'm sorry. I was thinking in my head too, that's not right. So 12.5. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 8 by 12.5. And then I'm going to do the same to the top. Okay, so 6 times 12.5 is going to be 75. Okay, so then we have 75 out of 100. So we kept the fraction the same, but we needed it to be something out of 100. So we just multiplied top and bottom by the same number. We got 75 out of 100. Now I just need to write this as a percent. Okay, so I'm going to take this number and write it as a percent. Okay, just like we did over here and here. So 75%. That's my answer. I'm just going to highlight this. I'm going to highlight this too. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing today. You're writing fractions as percents. All you need to do is get the fraction to be something out of 100 and then write this number as a percent. Okay? And over here, what we did was write a percent as a fraction in simplest form. So all you have to do is write your percent out of 100, because again, that's what it means, and then simplify. Okay? We'll be doing practice in class.